Today on Let's Play Bedrock, we're going to take this empty space and transform it into a beautiful jungle village. In the first episode, we built this amazing jungle ruins crop farm, but there was one thing that I thought was still missing from the build. I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do with lighting because I didn't want to affect the ruined aesthetic of the build. So I left it up to you, and you guys gave me some fantastic ideas. And unfortunately, my favorite of those ideas is going to lead me back underground, near where I said I was never gonna go again. That place is seriously gonna give me nightmares for the rest of my life. If you missed it, we went to the ancient city in the last episode, and my was it an adventure. But we're not going down there. We're just gonna grab some of this stuff, glowberries. I don't know how many we need, but we're gonna grab a bunch. And I'm just realizing, we don't even need the shears. Wow, Blue, learn Minecraft. It's just my bird brain's acting up again. I just remembered as well, you can right click on these things and not destroy the vine to get the fruit. Guys, I promise I'm really good at this game. I survived 7 encounters with the warden and didn't die once. The only thing that took me down was a pair of cursive binding pants. I think 1 stack of glowberries should do fine. Now, how do I get out of here? I'm gonna take these glowberries and place some of them randomly underneath these arches. When placed, the vines do not actually have the glowberries on them, and they only have a random chance of getting them when they grow downward. So we're gonna cheat the system and bone meal it. Boom, we got glowberries. The other thing I want to keep in mind as well is that these operate a little bit differently on Bedrock than they do Java. If I understand correctly, shearing these on Java will prevent them from growing any farther. I don't think it works that way on Bedrock Edition, but correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I usually am. I'm just gonna have to keep on top of these or put some string under them to keep them from growing farther. We just finished up and it's just about to get dark, so let's see how it looks in comparison to where it was before. And of course it would start raining. Fine, great. Oh, thunderstorm. No, leave my pigs alone. Okay, we're gonna get through this as fast as possible so we can sleep again. I can't afford to lose any more pigs. This actually does look pretty good though. I'm not worried about really lighting up the middle of the farm. I just kind of wanted something more aesthetically pleasing for the outside. And of course, before we go to sleep, I gotta do the RTX test, and woo! Yes, this looks so cool. I love it. Thank you to everybody who suggested glowberries. This was a brilliant idea. And speaking of pigs, in the last episode, we set a challenge for these zombie piglins, and I think you guys thought I had enough danger in the ancient city, so we're actually just gonna go ahead and clear these guys out safely behind the fence. We're not gonna break that, except for Crispy Bacon. I don't know where he is. We'll have to be careful, because we are gonna keep him, so say goodbye. Last one standing. You're gonna stand there for a little bit longer till you're not mad at me. Can I interest you in a golden sword, sir? No? Okay. I don't know why I do this, but I seem to have a knack for every time I want to build somewhere, I got a bunch of chests just sitting right in the spot we're gonna build. So maybe if we focus really hard, all of these things will just move themselves and go away. Nope. Had to move it all myself. I know I hate moving stuff twice, but I wanted to get that cleared out of the way so we could get all of this done before we started building anything in this area. I actually just got done with a live stream where we did most of this terraforming. I did a little bit of that on my own off camera, but now I've got the perfect blank canvas to build this jungle village. Only problem is, I don't know how to get down from here without dying. There we go, Tarzan. Ah! With this jungle village build, I wanted to limit the resources to the things that we could naturally find in or near the jungle. So we're gonna keep it pretty simple. Cobblestone, jungle wood, and leaves. So to kick off the build, I'm gonna take some cobblestone walls and we're gonna make a very basic pattern. We're gonna go 5 across. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're gonna go 1, 2, and then we'll do 1, and then we'll do 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll make a circle in Minecraft. Kind of. But I'm just gonna repeat that pattern until we get all the way around, and we'll connect it up right there. Then I'm gonna break a little spot right there for the doorway. And then on top of these cobblestone walls, I'm gonna take some jungle fences and we're just going to randomly place them. I don't want them to be all completely connected. I want to have some breaks here and there. I wanted this to look like we kind of just found all of these materials in the jungle and threw it together quickly so that we could get to researching the jungle ruins and the dragon temple and some other things that we're gonna build in the jungle that you don't know about yet, and you're not gonna hear about it today. No spoilers. A bit of progress for you guys. I decided I didn't like all of the jungle fences spread all the way across this middle layer, so I did mix in some decent amount of cobblestone walls. And then on the third layer, we were a little bit more consistent with the jungle fences, except for a couple places we thought it might be a good idea to just kind of blend all of that in. And here we are, started with the roof. The roof is going to be a dome, and it's going to combine jungle planks and jungle leaves. And in a game of cubes, domes are a bit difficult to eyeball. So I jumped into my creative testing world, and I made sure we got it just right before building it here in survival. And I gotta say, I feel like that turned out pretty good. Now, the sun is going down, so I'm gonna grab my bed, and we're gonna sleep our first night inside of our new jungle hut. And I think I'm gonna put the bed right over here, and I'm gonna put a fence gate right there because we want to keep all the bad stuff out while we're taking a snooze. And there goes the sun. Can we sleep? It's dark. I want to sleep. There we go. And speaking of dark, it is still pretty dark in here at night, even though we got skylights everywhere, and we're sleeping under the stars, basically, just with a little bit more protection. We are going to address that, but I do want to decorate the interior of this before we get to lighting. And I think it would be fun to have a campfire inside of our hut. Now, I know that's not practical because this would catch on fire, but you know what? We're going to put some benches right here. I think we'll put one like right there, and then maybe here. Yeah. And then we'll put the campfire right in the middle. But we're going to be responsible campsite owners when we're going to douse this fire. It's gone. We'll just pretend like we can turn this back on at night so we can keep our toes warm before we get in bed. The other thing we need in here is a auto smelter because I'm kind of tired of picking everything up and putting it in the smelter and collecting it. It's just getting a bit old. So we're going to go ahead and do the most basic of early game auto smelters right here. And I think I need one more hopper. There we go. I feel like I'm continually running out of coal at this point, but here, we're going to be responsible. I'm going to take one of the pieces of coal that I have left, and it's going to go into the fuel slot. And then I'm going to go in here and take these jungle logs. We're just going to toss them in there. We're going to make some charcoal. And all that charcoal is going to go into that barrel, and we're not going to have to worry about it. I think it'd probably be nice to have a little bit of storage over here as well. Maybe we'll have another barrel back here for like a headboard. And you know what? No house in the early game would be complete without a crafting table. Let's put that right there. I think that's a good spot. Nah, I hate it. Let's put it right there instead. And last but not least, I think armor stand. I want a place that I can hang up my armor at night just in case I don't want to wear it. I think that'll probably just be like our current armor or armor that we're going to use regularly or swap out with other types of armor. I don't know. I'm not so sure that I trust Minecraft with my first world iron armor set and diamond armor set and those kinds of things. I've seen too many things despawn because of weird bugs. The sun is about to go down again, and while we wait for it to do so, we're going to go ahead and punch out some of this grass. We want it to look as if we've lived in here for a while. We've had some foot traffic, we've set some things down, and it's just kind of killed all the grass in the area. Maybe a few little spots here and there, but for the most part, it's going to be a dirt floor. The other thing we might put down on the floor as well is some jungle planks. Maybe we'll make it look like it got a little bit soggy on the floor. We wanted to clean it up. It is nice and dark now. We can see the stars through our skylights. Oh, it's beautiful. But we don't want nasty stuff spawning on here. It's mostly spawn proof. They can spawn on like the grass, planks. They shouldn't be able to spawn on the path blocks, but we want to make sure that it's very, 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 very safe for us to live here. So I'm going to take some glow berries, and unfortunately you can't hang them from leaves. That'd be really cool if you could, but we're going to make do with that. And we'll do something like that. And that, and then we'll light them up. Honestly, I think that looks pretty good. Let's give it the RTX test. Who needs fireflies in the game when you got glowberries? I mean, fireflies would be pretty cool. Why don't we have fireflies in the game? That would be so fun. This looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm so happy. Oh, and you can see the glow of the dragon temple up over the hill. Oh, it's all coming together. And you know what? We're going to put a pressure plate right there because I don't want to have to open and close that every time I go out. Pressure plate? Boom. Now we can walk out freely and the door will shut behind us. Now that I've got my home set up, I've got a couple of problems left to solve today. Storage. But before I can do storage, because it's going to go right here, I need to move all of these animals. And so we're not moving them twice. We're just going to go ahead and build them some shelters over here. so much done in that little time lapse right there. We got our chicken coop. It looks a little bit like my house, but it's smaller. We might need to clear some of the chickens out. Come to think of it, we might need to clear some of the rest of the animals out. There's too many. I think by far my favorite one is the pig pen. We're gonna have to do a little bit more detailing in here. I've got an idea that we're gonna check out in just a second. And the sheep have the widest open space out of anybody because we have a ton of them and we need to keep shearing. And our cows, same thing. Open range, nice grass to eat. Gonna have to clear some of them out. No, don't worry, it's not you. You're fine, you're safe. You, on the other hand, let that be a warning to you. My jungle is back over right there. You can just barely see it. And then right over that horizon across the desert, there's the tiniest little swamp I've ever seen. Look at it. I told you, I wasn't joking. This thing is tiny. We are here for one thing, and that is not to mine those trees. We're gonna need them someday, but not this day. We're here for this stuff. Mud. As I finished collecting mud, it was beginning to get dark, so I thought it might be a good idea to head home, until I realized I left something very important back at my hut. You could probably figure out from context clues what just happened here, right? Can't believe I forgot my armor. I think we should start a new game. How many times per episode is Blue Jay gonna get blown up by a creeper? Now that is a pig pen if I ever saw one. We got some packed mud, some regular mud with some water puddles. Oh, you guys are just gonna feel right at home. Wouldn't it be great if Mojang would put muddy pigs in the game? That'd be so fun. They could roll around in the mud and get all dirty. We'll just have to pretend though. You guys enjoy your new home. I did make a few changes. I did actually push this cow farm over here because I didn't really like the way it looked from the top-down view. And in fact, we can actually just jump up here on the tree and take a look. This looks so much more balanced of a village now than it did before. When the cow farm was over here, it looked a little bit lopsided and weird. I think I'm gonna like that a whole lot more. As you know, if you've been keeping up with the series since the first episode, I've been trying to put a little bit of a story behind each of the builds, and I was struggling to come up with something interesting. And the story that I came up with was like, we're explorers researching the ancient jungle ruins, so let's throw a couple of houses together and we'll live here for a while we research. But I thought of a more interesting story while we were building the animal pens. As you can see, we've put some of these fence gates in here just because I think they look cool, especially when they do that little swoopy swoop right there. And then it got me thinking, what if these cobblestone wall parts are actually ancient jungle ruins from a cow farm that they had sitting here, and it was broken down, so we had to patch it up with some of these fences and fence posts. I think that's a little bit more interesting. Now, we do need to solve the problem of the storage. And in order to do that, we're gonna build a building around these chests that I've put out here in this layout, and I imagine it'll look something like this. Oh, have we got a lot to show off right now. We are finished with the jungle village. We'll get over there here in a second, but the interior of the storage room, I think this is the most efficient I've ever been with space usage. This is such a small amount of space for this much material to be stored, and we don't have to fight the item frames to get inside our storage. I'm so happy about that. Yes, we probably could have fit more chests in here if we turned them sideways, but that's just a hassle for this kind of thing in the early game. But we have everything from all of our valuables to various wood supplies, even down to things like mob drops and blocks. But the more impressive thing, as you can see, is that we have actually filled the jungle back in. It is no longer an empty space. It's so immersive when you walk through it. We got some glow berries hanging from various trees here and there. We might actually need to bone meal that one. Well, we just broke it, so I guess we don't need to now. I have some other ideas for some things we're gonna do along the paths, but that's not gonna happen today. There's only one thing left I want to do today. Harry the parrot. Welcome home, buddy. But that's gonna do it for today. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like, comment on the video, and subscribe if you're not already. And hey, we'll see you in the next one.